Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm currently standing in front of a factory that used to produce microprocessors, printed circuit boards, things like that. Let's go check it out. Well, I have good news, it's open. Look, we have some... These keyboards are old, huh? We have some circuits here. We have circuit diagrams, we have printed circuit boards, serial numbers and everything. It's incredible. Look, the old circuits... It's crazy. There's glass everywhere, I'll be careful. But... Now we're getting to the part. The bar area, chemical treatment for the circuits. So this is the part where we used to soak the circuits in a chemical reagent. I don't really remember exactly why. And you can still see some traces of stuff dripping. Here's the baking area, so an oven was likely inside. Can we get to that? Yes, from the other side. Let's go check it out. Everything has been sawed off here, even the bars I see. Well, there's something crazy left outside. Look, the amount of prints. The amount of prints left here, print files for motherboards and things like that. Look. These are the schematics, actually. These are schematics. They're all schematics. They're everywhere. There's an old ventilation system here. It's pretty incredible. There you go. You see, there's another section over there. I don't know what's in there. Look, we still have equipment, more old monitors, really old ones, and printers. Let's go. The stairs to go upstairs, that's going to be tricky. It's going to be very difficult to access the upper floors. I think, given the mess it is, it looks like they ran a bulldozer through here. It's unbelievable, I swear to you. A printed circuit board is made like this, a motherboard. It's made of something called vitrinite, that's the material, a kind of plastic on which copper is layered, and then the circuits are etched into it. The circuits are etched based on the schematics. Here, for example, we would engrave this schematic, for instance, onto a copper plate. Then, we simply add the components on top. Now we get to the part where the printed circuit board is baked. That's what I explained to you earlier. And here we would normally have the oven. So this is an AccuMatch. So, it's actually a machine for placing the components. It's part of a production line, actually. Normally, there are several machines like this. There's a machine that will place the printed circuit boards on it. Then it goes through another machine that places the components. And then it comes out of this machine to enter the oven, which will melt the solder and attach the components to the printed circuit board. By the way, there are even some old batteries and everything here. From what I understand, the factory closed because production was moved to Asia. Of course, you know that all electronic components are no longer made in France. They're often made in Asia now. Everything was moved, which is probably why this factory was abandoned. I'm going to investigate this mystery. It's really huge. As a site, small electrical panel there. This must have been a loading dock here. There's a big garage door that leads directly outside. We're gonna go in right away while there's still a bit of daylight. It looks impressive up there, guys. I didn't want to turn on the light, but I have to because it's dark. It's almost 5 o'clock. It's going to get dark soon. Oh man. So here we must have been in the office area, but man, it's been trashed. It's really crazy, honestly. The number of documents left here. There are entire binders. Maybe they were order files. It's been badly smashed up. I don't know if I can walk on this. I'm afraid I might fall through the floor since I can't see what's under my feet. It's... oh wow, in a terrible state. So, these are the offices of this printed circuit board factory here. We even still have the old computer server tower. And... which is right there. Oh, the floor is creaking. That's scary. I really think a bunch of vandals came here. A group of kids came here to smash everything up, clearly. There are still some... A vacuum machine, I don't know what it was used for, that one. So, here the components, well, there are quite a few crazy things, right? small dark room. I don't know what it was used for. White light switch. I have no idea. So, a lot of machines, a lot of things. A whole shelf of circuits, guys. It's crazy. But really, there's everything. A serial number for each model of printed circuit board, of motherboard that's made here. Really everything. All the schematics, the... Wow. Look, here's a template of an electrical schematic of a printed circuit board that was used like a negative for a photo actually to print the circuit. It's pretty crazy, and there are tons of them. Tons. The factory was really busy back then, really. You can see it, right? They were producing circuits by the dozen. All kinds of circuits. I see all sorts of different circuits. What's this? In any case, these are circuit diagrams. We might even find some working circuit boards still. Really a lot of things left here. The air conditioner, it was ripped out, clearly. It's crazy, it's really crazy. This passion for destruction, it's something I just can't understand. Guys, seriously, why do you come and break everything like this? What does doing crap like this bring to your lives? I'm sorry, I'm speaking badly, but it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. This was an incredible place. I'm surprised I haven't found any printed circuit boards yet, really. So far, just diagrams. So far, just diagrams of motherboards and printed circuits, but not the actual circuits themselves. And yet, I'd be surprised. I'd really be surprised if nothing was left. Maybe it was looted, actually. For the copper, for the gold, you know? On motherboards, printed circuits, there are precious metals, there's copper, there's gold, there's silver, tin, well, metals that are worth a fortune. So often it's stolen just for that, to recover the metals. So, maybe that's what happened here. Maybe it was completely looted. Here, we still have lots and lots of diagrams. Diagrams of cards, motherboards, there are boxes full of them, right? I'm trying not to miss anything because there are a lot of parts. It's kind of a maze, this thing. More diagrams. We even have boards, flexible Vetronite boards there to make circuits, Vetronite boards. So, it's an assembly of Vetronite and copper boards, a printed circuit, it's Vetronite boards, a copper board, a Vetronite board, a copper board, to make the different layers of the circuit and then etch the traces into them. I worked in a company that made this kind of thing, so I know a lot about it. Maybe even, potentially I might even come across one of the machines I used to work on back then, which would be pretty crazy. It's the same here, all chemical baths. All tanks with chemical baths heated to certain temperatures with specific products to treat the boards. Well, let me know in the comments if I'm making no sense. It's possible. I'm sharing this with you. I worked at that company nearly 20 years ago, so... These are just vague memories. I wonder... we have maps, look, there you go, you see? Look, but it's pure copper, guys, it's everywhere, damn, it's worth, well, it's really moldy over there, but look, a card with a chip. So, as I explained to you, the diagrams, I'm not gonna touch that too much, it's really rotten, but there you go. The diagrams were really engraved on these motherboards, like this, printed inside. And then processed, and the components would be soldered onto them. What do we have in this room here? We have an electrical panel here. Some files. That must have been a break room. Kitchen area and everything, yeah. I'll try to see if we can access other rooms here. Because from the outside, the factory looks really huge, and I'm sure I haven't explored everything yet. Let's try to go up there. Oh, I don't know if that's the best idea I've ever had. I don't even know what I'm walking on. I don't know if it's a staircase or... Oh well, we haven't been here before. I hope it's that I'm not gonna fall through the floor or something. Yeah, these old factories, you know, we're taking risks. You never really know what's gonna happen. Yeah, there's a really small storage area. Ah, there we go. I had a feeling we'd find something else. Look, Look at the motherboards and everything here.
Oh wow.
Pump bodies, oxidation baths. There you go, oxidation baths, pumps, equipment for the oxidation baths. We're going to find things here. It's cramped. It smells strongly of chemicals.
Full blast, full blast.
You have to be careful not to touch just anything here. This must have been a small storage area for pots here. Look, we still have a whole setup here, a whole motherboard. This is what this company used to produce, guys. And here, it looks like we're entering some kind of office. This must have been a conference room. I think it was something like that. There's a screen there placed on the table, some shelves. Ah, a loading dock too for big trucks over there. We're up high. It's clearly open. Here, look at what's outside. Everything has been blown apart and thrown outside. This is really crazy. It's really crazy, guys. I wasn't expecting this though. Tyflex, I don't know what that was for. Leave a comment if you have any ideas.
Guys, you know I know quite a few things, but I'm not an expert in everything either. I don't have all the answers, far from it, but
I always try to give you correct and valid explanations, but I can be wrong, or sometimes just not know or not be familiar with something, plain and simple. I feel like I go through the same place 4 times and at the same time like I haven't been there at all. It's weird, right? No, we definitely came here. It's a strange feeling. I planned to arrive earlier and explore for 2 days to get better shots, but it's very far from home.
I'm going to do one last round. There we go. One last round of the floor to see if I haven't forgotten anything, and then we'll go.
Because clearly it's getting dark, I can barely see anything in there anymore. I can't turn on the big spotlight, and the small one really doesn't have the power I need right now. It's a bit annoying. But well, that's how it is, right? That's the game of Urbex. You have to stay discreet. I'm telling you, I'm not even that discreet because the road passes just 20 meters from the building. And I think that from the outside, a lot of people must be able to see my flashlight. Then, like I said, yeah, you can even see the cars over there. Then, like I said, even though the place is completely open and clearly trashed, I'm not taking any risks exploring this place since it's obviously open and trashed. And there's nothing left. Even if the police showed up, they're not going to yell at me and say I broke in, you see? The place has really been abandoned for... Look at what I just found here. They're brand new, still in their packaging. A small printed circuit board for a small device. We even have the reference number on it. And here we still have some... schematics, circuits, look. Look, we have plenty here. They're everywhere. With the references and everything. Fully packaged printed circuit boards. Micronics. That's crazy. It's still hardware, right? Look, here we have a complete set of cards. I don't know what these cards were used for. I'll try to find out with the numbers. With the print numbers, the print serial numbers, I should be able to find the information. You know I like to carry out my investigations to the end, guys, and give you as much information as possible about the places I find. And here, we actually have one. It's written on it, Onera Cartemes Rapid Snake. There are even spots for the components on it. These were finished boards, really. They were ready to go into production to have the components soldered on. And I almost left without seeing this. Look, here we actually have chips. Here we have microprocessors. Look. We actually have boxes of chips here. We have boxes, whole boxes of chips, of microprocessors. Yeah, that's what they were making too. They didn't just make printed circuits. I almost left the building without seeing this. You really have to keep your eyes open, guys, when you're exploring abandoned places. I'm telling you, you really have to keep your eyes open. It's easy to miss a small detail, a little object, a little thing. The factory I'm exploring today closed in 2020 after years of activity in the production of electronic chips and printed circuit boards. It supplied components to big names in the European industry. But the constant rise in raw material prices and the strong low-cost competition from Asian countries such as China eventually pushed this company into debt before it ended up in liquidation. This is the case for many other companies in the sector in Europe, driven by the rising prices of raw materials, due to their scarcity and the centralization of global component production in Asia, which makes competition fierce.